Hey, what's up, buddy? Yes, sir. How y'all doing? All right.
What's the tape? What did you see from pass rush and some of the struggles to create more pressure on trouble doors?
For us, when it comes to pass rush and creating more pressure, it starts first with our coverage. Right? Rush and coverage is tied together. I feel like we can be better in coverage, therefore giving more time for our pass rush to get there. We can execute better in all phases.
It seemed like there were times where it felt like the Jags were kind of picking on Tavier at times, but they just kept targeting at him. Were there any discussions about possibly when you got Robert to like pass it off to whoever was the Robert guy to help Tavier whenever they were going across the field?
They made a couple plays. Javier, he was sticky in coverage. They made a couple plays on him, but he was fighting right to make plays there. He was challenging guys. That's what we asked for. So he was good there. We would like to see him make plays, of course, but they made plays, and that's how it happens sometimes.
I understand you can't do anything about it, of course. But I'm curious, there seems to be, even on both sides, there seems to be like some calls that were kind of, off. Did you get any explanations? Was there any talk about, talking to the league about the officiating at all from some of these games?
We'll submit some calls, but no, and we'll let the league handle that from that perspective.
What calls will you submit?
We'll we'll talk to the league about that.
Hey, how excited are you to get Denzel Perryman back this week?
Excited to get Denzel back. Brings a physical presence to our defense that we definitely need him to step up and play for us. So excited to have him back, and what he brings to us, the experience that he brings, it will definitely help us out on defense. So happy to get him back in the building.
But a guy like CJ, who again he continues to play at a pretty high level, how much confidence does that give you guys that no matter what the score is, we have a guy like that going to have a chance?
With CJ and what he's been able to do, I think it's part of the reason why we are where we are, what our record is because when he's played well, I think everybody around him has played together and he can make plays for us, and we've seen that, right? But from this past game, we all have to play better, right? From CJ to O-line, D-line, linebackers, so everybody on our team has to play better. Like, it wasn't good enough from an execution standpoint all the way across the board for our entire team, right? Although we've had a lot of good things that happened in that game, made a lot of good plays, like a lot of explosives, a lot of things off schedule that we made plays on, but just overall we can still execute a lot better.
As you start turning your attention to this week in Denver and seeing all that they've been able to do in the last 4 or 5 weeks, I know you probably haven't gone through everything, but what kind of concerns you most, or that you?
For this week, my concern is us as the Texans. Like, we have to fix us. Right? We have to play better. We have to execute better. It really doesn't matter who our opponent is if we don't clean up our house first. So we have to clean up our house, and we'll be able to go out and compete fairly when we clean up our miscues.
Just 32 rushing yards from the two running backs in the game. What were the Jaguars doing that maybe had you guys shy away from the rushing attack? And was that sort of a conscious decision or an adjustment in the game?
We know we have to run it better. I think Jaguars did a really good job of closing space. When there was space, the lanes closed up quickly. And credit to them with, their defensive line, their linebackers, the way they played in the run game, they did a really good job for us. Of course, we want to run it better. We got to make sure we're targeting better, make sure we're finishing better up front with all our blocks, and we just got to run it better. And hopefully we get an opportunity to do that this week.
The other blocking, what did you think of Scruggs when he was in there for Titus?
It was good to see Juice in there get some time. I think he did a good job. He stepped in, his first action in a long time. So he stepped in and did a really nice job for us, and Juice will only continue to improve with the more reps that he takes.
Is the thought with Matt that, he's made some kicks for you that he can continue to hold it down for you and be your guy?
Yeah, we'll keep going with Matt. We'll keep going, give him opportunities.
Titus, you haven't expected that update right now?
Do not have an update right now. Still gathering more information on Titus.
With regards to just the execution of the offense yesterday, how much of it was, I guess CJ/Bobby not having, I guess, the eyes in the right spots post snap? Because it seemed like a lot of plays that the Jaguars were mixing things up and kind of flooding where they knew CJ/Bobby were trying to attack, and then there appeared sometimes there were other opportunities on the other side. How much of that was kind of the issue, and how do you kind of, when it's happening in game, adjust on the fly?
Jags did a good job yesterday of mixing up the looks on their defense, but there were also looks that we've seen and looks that we made plays against. So we just have to be consistent with our reads, our progression, and we just have to continue to play within the rhythm and timing of our offense. That's where we have to reestablish that focus, right? Just recenter and just get back to the basics of owning our fundamentals when it comes to the timing and rhythm of our offense.
To follow up on that, like as a coach on the sideline, what's the balance of, okay, you know that it's out of structure, but the plays are being made. What's the balance of like kind of riding that, but also like we still have to get back into the timing of it?
Yeah, as coaches, as you go through the game, you continue to teach, right? Continue to coach them as best you can, right? At the end of the day, players out there on the field, they're playing, they make the plays.
You guys are strong on third down offensively, and defensively kind of struggle a little bit on third down. Is there any correlation to that being good on third down, but also kind of having issues defending it?
For us on third down versus the Jaguars, we weren't good enough defensively. When it comes to rush and coverage being tied together, we weren't good enough. They executed on third down, we weren't, so we didn't. So they made the plays and we didn't, and that was the difference in the game.
What's the challenge to the offensive line, given how you guys ran the ball in the previous 2 games and weren't able to do what y'all wanted to this game? What's your challenge to them?
Yeah, the challenge to our guys up front is just to have that physical mindset to finish every snap. Make sure our hat placement is in the proper place and make sure we're creating displacement up front, right? Denver's going to be a tough run defense, right? At 5 across the line, it's going to be a tough run defense. We had to make sure we can create displacement, we can create lanes, running lanes for our running backs, and our backs have to run and finish. Every yard matters, right? It's just about pressing forward in the run game with every carry that we get.
In terms of coaching technique, and everybody says you got to play defense, pass defense with your feet. How do you get guys to avoid penalties with the way the league is emphasizing that so much? When essentially it's really hard to put your hands on the receiver now.
Yeah, it makes it hard to cover guys, right? These are some of the best athletes in the world at the receiver position, so it's definitely hard to cover the guys. It starts with getting pressure on the quarterback to speed him up. That helps with coverage, but it's also about moving your feet, right, and make sure we're playing clean at the top of the routes.
DeMeco leukemia is your cause for cases. Is that personal to you? That bringing awareness to leukemia into the American Council?
Yes, that's personal to me. Yes, it is.
We go, I'm curious, I don't know if we talk about it much, but for Desmond King to come in, on the streets and kind of make that play at the end of that first half, what do you think about it?
It was an exciting play for Desmond to step in at that moment in time in our goal line package. He stepped up, and he stepped up big time, right, to make that stop there going into the locker room before halftime. That was a huge play. All right, you felt the energy from everybody, not only on the defense but from our entire team. Right, it was a big time hit by Dez, and just happy to be able to get him back.
I'll give you 2 more, guys. How much do you guys miss Jimmy Ford? I know probably like to get back to play, but how much is his presence and his knowledge of y'all's defense kind of just have y'all missed that?
We miss Jimmy a lot. Jimmy brings a calm to our defense. He also brings big-time playmaking ability to our defense. A guy who can move around, play multiple spots, tackles really well, instinctive player. So we've missed Jimmy. He's our starter for a reason. We've missed him, man. Hopefully we can get him back here soon.
When a team like the Jags, like it looked like they also did a lot of movement, a lot of scrimmage sometimes on the back end. How difficult can that be for young quarterbacks to kind of cipher and diagnose all the movement that you're doing at that time?
With the movement that we'll get from many defenses, all defenses move post-snap, pre-snap. It's something with our quarterback, with CJ, that he's seen before. He just has to continue to go through his progression, right? Really doesn't matter about the defense. It's about us as an offense dictating and going where we want to go with the football and getting the ball into our playmakers' hands. And if we handle that efficiently, that's when we play good offense. When we get off schedule, right, and we don't play on time and rhythm, then that's what you see. You see we're kind of sputtering around there. We just have to be more efficient on offense, sustaining drives, all right, continue to press forward. All right, thank you, guys.